Law of success, failure. My friends, in these series of videos, we're looking at failure as temporary defeat as described by the author. He shares 7 very personal experiences where he failed in his mind, but learned that failure is known as temporary defeat. He drives that home so many times, my friends, that you and I have to understand that failure is temporary defeat. We're on about the 5th version of his temporary defeat, where he says this. He said, I had commenced to learn for the first time that there was much cruelty and injustice and dishonesty in the hearts of men. Remember, he had left his advertising agency with the president of the college because they decided to form a business partnership. They started a candy company. They became very successful with 18 different franchises in 18 different cities throughout the Midwest. This was in the early 1900s, and he said, I was making money almost hand over fist. But he said, my partner and a third person we had brought in got it in their hearts to get me out of the business. And he said they had me falsely accused and arrested on some charges, and said they would let the charges go if I would sign over my portion of the company to them. And he said the witnesses under the false arrest didn't show up to court. But he says, I did not let it go at that, for my name was valuable to me. And he said, I found these witnesses, I brought them in and made them tell the story. Things turned and changed, and he had these gentlemen in a situation where they could go to prison for years and years if he simply said, or he could let them go. My friends, he said, this is where I learned a lot about myself. And he says, where the 16th lesson was actually formed in this. He said, I found in my makeup, I did not have it, the character trait of revenge in me. He said, I felt to apply mercy. And he says, fate handed them a far worse judgment than I ever could have. And he says, but it was a lesson that I learned through the temporary defeat of this experience, that you have to be careful who you associate with. You have to be careful who your friends are. But my friends, revenge is not a sweet experience. It cankers the soul and becomes more powerful against you than it works for you. And that, my friends, is a powerful lesson to learn in temporary defeat.